Hey, round two with Cody. Turns out I ran out of video space on my camera. You know, I kept all the old videos, even though I downloaded them to YouTube and sent them to my email, sent them to my home computer. I still had them on my phone. So we had a whole conversation that you guys missed, man. So we're going to try and reduplicate it or, you know, just continue the conversation. Yeah, I'll see where we go, man. So we were talking about the tanker cars and how most of them are, you know, oil. I was also talking about how the city of Tioga here recently passed 1 million barrels a day. You know, that's just out of this one zone. You know, I was talking to you before about another video, you know, where it's Man Camp Central out there. And they passed 1 million barrels a day. That's a lot of oil, and that's only one zone here.
No, it's rocking out of the Bakken.
Yeah, rocking in the Bakken, man. So, well, now we're going to draw a blank, huh?
No, we're going straight into what I do. Yeah, you were asking me how much I do with just the oil cars, and that's pretty much predominantly all of it. Yeah, so they come into our facility, and then we go ahead and throw on vent lines and start pumping oil at about 100 cars a train, roughly.
Wow, and do that multiplied by 2, that's what you said, that was 650 barrels per tanker, times 100, sometimes more, times 100, times 2 or 3 a day. That's a lot of oil running out of here, and most of it's going
West Coast, East Coast also, but Washington is the one that I know of because I've ridden around the refinery and everything. So.
And you were talking about the vent lines, you know, about because as they move around and stuff, you know, this gas produces inside these tanks, and you have to vent it off. And so these guys have to hook up these lines to it right away. But a little dangerous there.
Yeah, H2S gas. It's killed people out here, and it puts people in hospitals. It makes you pass out on top of a rail car.
And then it goes, you put a hose on it, and that hose runs to?
Yeah, it vents it off, and it goes through a series of pipes and goes to a flare, which is basically, you know, just a propane burner.
Big open flame.
Just a massive open flame, 3 stories high, and the flames definitely go that high and higher sometimes when it's burning hot.
Which is kind of an issue out here right now. It's in the papers and all that stuff about all these open flames, you know, that they're doing and stuff, and they're just burning this natural gas off. You know, should they be storing it? And, you know, I've heard people talk about that they could run the pumps off of that natural gas, you know, because somebody else told me, I don't know if this is true or not, it takes like 5,000 gallons a day or something of diesel fuel to run a pump rig.
Oh, they definitely have their expensive energy.
Wow,
that
man.
is for sure. But that gas, the H2S gas, it can be harnessed. It really can. And, you know, there's some places that are working on getting that configured into the way they do things, but it's such an expensive thing because it's not so mainstream like just pumping oil.
Right, and that's what the other gentleman told me. They're already set and they're making these other products and these other ways of doing things.
If you can make $1, why make 10 cents?
Exactly.
So, unfortunately, that's the way it is, but no, there's definitely another gas we can completely harness instead of just waste into a flame.
A 3-story flame. That's a huge flame, man.
It's crazy. There's like candles burning all over the countryside. It's pretty unique.
Yeah. So, what do you like best about your job, brother?
It's super easy. I make really good money, and I only sweat because it's hot outside. I mean, there's times where, don't get me wrong, we are really killing ourselves. Summertime is really bad, but the winter time is negative 40 degrees, and there's wind blasting past you, and you're standing out there with sledgehammers breaking the ice off the switches for the train.
And all the weather conditions, rain, you know, we're talking before about mosquitoes. The mosquitoes are thick out here.
All day, too.
All day, too, man. You know, you just get hit with it. So, what do you what do you not like about your job?
Away from home, and it's a little, I mean, everybody out here, you know, we're a bunch of men, but sometimes their vaginas grow. And, I mean, it gets stressful at times. Nobody's, I mean, half the people are with their families because they're out here too, but, you know, the mixture of cultures, which is amazing, and the mixture of, you know, different anxieties back in the real world, you know, is, it pulls on a bunch of guys who live together.
And they're busting their hump too, because you were just telling me your week off.
Oh, yeah.
You were supposed to work your week off, or no, you worked your week off. You ended up doing 18 hours a day for 7 days straight, and that's his week off.
Yeah, that was killer. I'll tell you how that goes. You work for 18 hours, and then you get off, and you take about 30 minutes to get dressed down, take a shower, scarf down some food, and then you try to sleep, which is pretty easy in any type of chair. It doesn't matter, metal chair, on the floor. I've done it. And in about 3 hours, on average, you wake back up and, repeat the whole process.
Wow.
So crock pots are amazing out here, I tell you what. I've made some meals.
Made some meals in the crock pot. And there's always time to squeeze in a little bit of time for a tattoo. I don't care what anybody says. Always a little bit of room, especially when I'm coming to you.
No, it's perfect.
Excuse me. And then you also, excuse me, were telling me you just got a new girlfriend.
Yeah, fiance actually. I've been on Playboy for a long time, in between some serious relationships too. I mean, I'm trying, but yeah. So I was Playboy for the longest time, and had some things lined up back home, I guess you could say, and for every day that I had off, and I met Stephanie the first day, and we were gonna go crawdadding. She asked to bring her fishing pole, and I was like, yeah, that's great.
That's my kind of
That's a
girl.
good start. So she looked at the river while we were pulling up, and she's like, water's too high for right now, and so she really knew her rivers and the area she was in. So we climbed a waterfall, found some salamanders named Ozzy Osbourne, and 3 days later, being with her, we decided to get married.
Crazy 3 days. They got engaged after 3 days.
It's killer.
And
It's killer.
how long has that been now? How long have you guys been together?
Not very long, 3 months, but it's happening. Like,
That's
there's
cool.
no stopping us. It's
Got
it's
the
a
rings on order. They special had them made, over in Europe somewhere, was it? Yeah.
Yeah, you're a buddy of mine, Kendall. We all call him Kendall because he's got long blonde hair. He's a badass. He really is. His name's Ken, but there's a conductor that comes in.
Right.
And people call her Barbie. I think that's her real name. But so Conductor Barbie and Kendall.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so he was backpacking in Europe and met this guy. Lived with him for 3 months and ended up hooking me up with him. I got a killer deal on it. It's Josh O'Shea Jewelry. I'm gonna throw that out
pump
there.
it up there. We're in the business here of putting up businesses on this thing.
He does fine work. In the meantime, though, I got my tattoo going on.
But I think the thing was cool about the rings. You were telling me the way they fit together.
Yeah, he designs them however you want them. But for me, what I wanted to do was go with an idea he had about putting a design on a ring. So if you were to smush them flat and put them together, the design would be perfectly matched up and
So they both
split
have
it into two.
Yeah, so they both play part of the design. That's really killer, man. Where are you from, bro?
I'm from Washington State.
Washington State?
Yeah.
What part of Washington?
Southwest, just north of Portland, Oregon.
Excellent, man. And you grew up out there, and
Yeah, born in Portland, raised north of the border in Washington, and no, it's killer for dirt bikes. That's what I grew up on. My 4th birthday, I remember throwing a tarp off of a little JR50, little Gillo bike, and I learned how to ride from crashing really hard, and that's how you really learn is you can't say you're going to get on a bike and you're not going to hit the ground.
right. And he was telling me that was about his new girlfriend. It was the only thing they really almost didn't have in common was motorcycles. But now she's totally digging them too, and she's
No, it's my life. It's my life.
So she's got it like a little bit,
She's got it. No, a sad story. She knows a handful of people, literally one handful, that have passed away on bikes. So she has a huge fear of them. She loved them when she was a kid, so got her into going to the flat track races, and I got my 2 bikes in the garage that her and Aiden come out. That's our boy. He's 6, and we kind of screw around between gardening and airbrushing and the bikes, and so I gave her one of mine.
Well, cool story, brother. Thanks for sharing with us, man. And doing this video with me and shit. Is there anything you want to tell the people out there, man, about the oil fields or about the Bakken area? Or...
It's a killer place to get a tattoo, especially from this guy. No, it's great whether you're with somebody or not. Like, if you need to do something crazy in your life and get a little adventure and make some great money, come out here for a little bit. I mean, 6 months at a time. Turnover rate so fast, you'll find a job. They don't expect you to be the lifer there because people are there 6 months to a year. It's natural. People leave seasonally. So come out here, enjoy it, have a good time, make great money, meet some cool people from all over the country.
And all over the world.
And all over the world. I work with some a guy from the Congo. There's been guys from other places, you know, Canada, all over the country. Before I got there, there's a lot of people from all over the world that work there, but
Yeah.
everybody's out here.
Everybody's out here. That's what I keep saying, man. A little bit for everybody. Once again, thank you, sir.
Oh, yeah.
And you guys have a good one. I'll check you again soon, okay?
All right, peace out.
Peace.